Howdy folks, this is BelGeode. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator, and this is a test, otherwise known as one of my chill vids. And you may probably recognize where we are because we are exactly where we left off in the last video. We're in Montego Bay, Jamaica. Yay! At Donald Sangster International Airport. However, you will notice that we are not in a helicopter this time. Why are we not in a helicopter? Well, when I said that we would have more helicopter videos, I didn't mean that was all we were going to have. I still want to showcase aircraft that I think are really cool, that, tickle my fancy, basically. You're obviously never going to see any airliners on this channel. That's just not going to happen. But this you will. This is, of course, the Diamond DA42. I believe it is is it VI or 6? Am I looking at a Roman numeral here? I'm going to assume that's probably what it is. It's a Roman numeral rather than VI, which probably stands for something that I have no idea what it is because I haven't even checked the manual on this one. So how did I end up with this aircraft and why are we showing it? Well, first I saw it on a Nova wrap, courtesy of Novawing24, good buddy of mine, fellow Grumpy Simmer. Then I saw it on the VRFlightSimGuy channel, Steve, and he was absolutely raving about this bird, and I was like, you know what? He's right. It actually does look good, and it looks like they did an excellent job with the flight model, the performance, everything. So I decided, you know what? It's been a little while since I gave Orbex some money, so let me go ahead and give Orbex some money. You can see it takes Jet A1 fuel there. These engines are powerful. The engines kind of remind me a little bit of like the P-38 Lightning from World War II. It just has that vibe to it, not to say that, they have extensive booms on the back, although it is a pretty aerodynamic looking engine, so there is that. But yeah, look at the quality. The aircraft, of course, is by COWS. Now, I'll be honest with you folks, I have no idea what COWS stands for. The fact that it's all capitals means it's probably an acronym, but needless to say, I like the name. It's a funny name. Kind of reminds me of that little meme that I'm notorious for sharing on various flight sim channels, especially the DCS ones, because there's a inside joke about cows going back years now. I'll see if I remember to put old Bessie up here. So yeah, you can see her right now. But yeah, this is an awesome bird. And one of the other reasons why I really like this bird, how many of you who are long-time viewers of this channel remember the ill-fated FSW? That is Flight Sim World. Remember that? Dovetail Games was going to give us the next generation of flight sim, and everything was going really great. They bought out the IP, the whole 9 yards, and then it died. Yeah. Well, this was one of the aircraft that I used to love flying in Flight Sim World, and granted, the flight dynamics, they were pretty much just FSX flight dynamics. I know that they were trying to push the envelope, but I don't believe they gave it nearly as much love as they probably should have, but I think they were probably sabotaged in the end. That's just my opinion on it. I don't know what the real story is. I don't know if we'll ever get what the real story was. But suffice to say, one of the very few live streams that I've ever done on this channel was in this bird in Flight Sim World. So even though this is not a live stream now, and I don't do live streams anymore, I just can't be bothered with them, to be honest with you. We're going to fly this puppy from Montego Bay here all the way to Ocho Rios. So basically we're traveling along the north coast. As you can see, the weather is still pretty crappy, but we'll try to see if we can live with that. Even the good old Bell Jet Ranger there is not going anywhere today. It is shut down, but we're not. We should be able to handle it. And we've got the glass cockpit and all the modern doodads to help us out with this flight. So that's what our plan is today, folks, and I hope you're on board for it. But first, let's check out the external stag cameras, because I do it in every video. All right, so first camera, pretty straightforward stuff behind the aircraft, looking forward. We are pointing down an awful lot, but that's fine. I like that. I can definitely work with this. That works for me. Next. Okay, port side view from the wing. I love views like this in aircraft because then you can really see just how far away the wing is from the cockpit. It works. I like it. I like it. Good job. And you see, got my little registration in there, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo. And starboard side underneath. A very good choice. Very good choice there, cows. I like the fact that it is underneath this time instead of above. Gives us a different point of view. Well done. Hey! Do I need to explain this one? Yeah. The infamous BelGeode landing cam, which I'm pretty sure Cowles does not refer to it as that, but hey, if your aircraft is being showcased on this channel, this is exactly what I am calling it. It is the BelGeode landing cam. Thank you so much for this. I greatly appreciate this. Every single aircraft developer should have a camera like this in their aircraft, whether it's a helicopter or not, just so I can see the gear, the skids, and so on and so forth, and the ground below. All right, next. Ooh, fancy. All right, so we got a little bit of the exhaust there. We can see little graphite steps and everything. You'll notice this thing has like a little clamshell cockpit there, which is pretty neat. It's kind of reminiscent of like the F-35. So that's kind of cool. I like this shot. And we got another angle here. Oh, this guy's in my face. Hello, hello. Okay, well, maybe this camera can move a little bit because I'm physically contorting my body to avoid the little fin here on the wing. Wow, okay, let's go to the next camera. Okay, this is kind of the same camera except further inboard, looking slightly to the back. I'm going to be honest, I'm probably not going to use this one as much. Now this is nice, right under the T-tail. You can see the rudder there. Let's do a rudder check while we're at it. And we'll do our elevator check as well. You see a little trim tab on the back. Not bad, not bad. Might as well do our aileron check since we're back here. I would do the flaps, but I believe the flaps are electric on this thing, so we would have to have the power on. Next camera. Oh, that's nice. I like that. So you can see Kara in there. Kara's had a little bit of a break. She's been hanging out at Sandals, and now she's back in the cockpit ready to head to Ocho Rios with me. We're going to Ian Fleming International Airport, formerly known as Boscobel. I will forever call it Boscobel because that's what it was called when my dad used to fly us there. And then another view of the engine looking back. Okay, if you're okay with it, I personally won't use this camera. And we're back to here. Okay, so that works. So we're going to leave it on this camera for right now. We might alternate between this and the BelGeode landing cam and the two side cameras. Those I think would be nice for cinematics. All right, but for right now, we'll put it back on drone cam and we'll hop in the cockpit. Okay, so here we are. And first thing I can say is they definitely put VR in mind because we are exactly where we need to be. There's no fiddling around with the cameras.cfg to get this thing where it should be. I like it. I like it. Very nice. Although I have had the canopy open, so I'm pretty sure the entire interior is wet. Now, once again, let me remind you, this is literally my first time hopping into this bird. I wanted to give you my raw impressions of it, and you know my general rule when it comes to these chill vids. Whatever happens, happens. So you get to see all the mistakes that I might make. You get to see all my raw reactions if something should go wrong or whatever. Yeah, that's what these are about here. It's about the intuitiveness of the aircraft, too. How well does it work in VR? Ooh, I like that. That is a nice little squeak there. I know most people would be like, oh, I hate that sound. It's like nails on chalkboard. No, not me. I like the squeak. The squeak is good. The squeak is good, cows. Oh, and look. Is that a cow? I think that's a cow. A little aerodynamic cow. Okay. I like it. I like this developer already. All right, now, moment of truth. Did this developer put a checklist in? We're about to find out. Spoiler alert, I already know the answer to that. Yes. The answer is yes, they did. And I can move it like right over here where I think it won't be in the way. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so let's do our before engine start, and we'll go ahead and get this started because it's about a 30-minute flight, so you know this is going to be a longer video. Auxiliary pumps, check that they're both off. Okay, it's been a very long time since I've been in an aircraft such as this, so I don't even remember where everything is. I don't know where my auxiliary pumps are. Did I click the thingy? Yeah, but it doesn't give me the little blue indicator. So I'm going to assume they're off. All right, there's our battery. There's our avionics master. Fuel switch pump, fuel switch pump. Are these my auxiliaries? Fuel pump A, fuel pump B. A and B. I think these are just the fuses, though. Okay. Well, I guess everything's off. Fuel selectors check on and guards down. Okay, the fuel selectors should be in the back, I think. Yeah, that we do have a thing for. Yeah, here it is. Down and guards up. Okay, so that and that. Okay. Yeah, they are on and the guards are closed. It looks like the guards automatically close, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. All right, so we will go ahead and check that off. Power levers to idle. Power levers are idle, yeah. Last I checked, anyway. Parking brake is set. Yeah, I would assume this means it's on. Hard to tell, really. Yeah, I'm guessing it's on. Okay, that works. Alternate air, emergency gear, check pushed off. Where exactly is that? Is there a thing for this? No? No, there is no thing for that. I don't know where the emergency gear is. I know our regular gear is right here, but I don't know where the emergency gear is, so I don't know. Engine master switches, pitot heat, we won't need those just yet. Alternator, okay, that's all fine. Flap selection, check it's up. I happen to know my flap lever is up, but this is the flaps lever right here in the cockpit, so yeah, we're good to go there. Fuel pumps, too, check that they are off. We did. That's the two white switches there. They're off. It's been a while since I've been in this bird. I'm gonna be lucky if I remember anything. Gear selector is down, yeah. Masters are all off. Pitot heat is off. Alternators, check those are on. They are actually on, yes. Voters, check auto. I don't remember what a voter is. Oh, I guess that's this little guy here. It says voter. Okay, well, I don't know what party it's voting for, but yeah, they're both in auto. All lights, make sure they're all off. I haven't touched them, so we're good. Circuit breakers are all in. Electric master, go ahead and turn you on. That should be the big red switch, right? Absolutely. Okay. Yay! G1000 powered and acknowledged. It's doing something anyway. Yeah. Yeah. I'm okay with that. Okay, control stick free and correct. Yep, we got full travel on the control stick. We did actually check that outside. So this aircraft is kind of like a sports car. It's like, to me, it kind of reminds me a little bit of a Ferrari or a Lamborghini. You know, it's kind of like that. Variable elevator stop test. Okay, now you're going to have to tell me where that is because I have no clue. If I can't see it, I won't flick it. And I can't see it. So guess what? All right, while we're waiting here, let's go ahead and get our position lights on. And we just have strobe. We don't actually have beacon lights, so that's fine. We'll leave that as is. I'm also going to get my cabin lighting on my instrument panel. Okay, there we go. All right, trim as required. I'm not going to mess with the trim. I know trim works. Gear fire warning test. Oh, we have that, don't we? That's this. Okay. it's making gear fire warning noises, so that's good. Flaps, full travel. Remember I said they were electric, so yeah, we can mess with that. I like that it also dings when you reach each flap level there. So that's the bottom. That's our takeoff flaps. And that's our up position. So 3 positions for flaps. Okay, DI system test if required, not required. We're in Jamaica. Fuel quantity check. I can see that we have fuel. Yeah, it does say at the very bottom here we got plenty. Alright, that's good enough for me. Engine start time. Okay, doors closed and latched. Yes. ACL, strobe. Okay, well, I guess we do need to turn the strobe on then. Fine. Strobe's on. Power levels. Check their idle. They should be. Yeah, I think they are. Propeller area is clear front to back. Okay, engine master. So I guess we pick which engine we want to start. So we're going to start with engine number 1 here. And glow indication, we will wait till that's off. I don't know what the glow indication is, but I don't see anything glowing, so okay. Start key. There we go. So I was trying to rotate my mouse wheel, and apparently it doesn't like that. So you gotta hold the left mouse button down in order to do that. Alright, while we're at it, let's go ahead and get the other one on. Oh, that's my zoom. I don't want my zoom. There we go. And I do like the noises. Noises are great. I'm going to go ahead and close a little window though. That way it's a little darker. Alright, so there we go. Everything is good. Outside ready in 3 seconds for the oil pressure. Oil pressure's in the green. Oil temperature is coming up. Coolant temperature is rising slowly. Fuel temperature is looking good. And all the other gauges are looking good. Okay. After engine start, let's see if there's anything we need to check. We just checked oil pressure. We just checked the RPM. It's around 710. Right now it's at 700, which is fine because I've got the throttles completely idled here. Lights as required. We're going to go ahead and get our taxi lights on. Fuel selector set to cross feed. Left engine on. Wait, can I not get the fuel selector down? Well, that's not supposed to work like that. Okay. Oh, you know what? I think I went too far. Yeah, totally went too far. Okay, so we'll start it up again. Like I said, folks, whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. That's the beauty of these types of videos here. Alright, so if I put this down to crossfeed now, that should work. Yeah, so the cover, that's to turn it off. Don't do that. If nothing else, I can at least be an example of what not to do in this damn thing. Alright, veto heat test, not even gonna worry about that. Avionics master switch, yeah, we will want that on, so let's go ahead and get that on. Okay. You know, it didn't say anything about the fuel pumps. It really didn't say anything about the fuel pumps. But I'm going to go ahead and turn those on when we're ready to take off, because that's like standard procedure there. Alright, what cautions do we have? Right EQB fail. Is that on this side here? EQA, EQB. No, it's supposed to be on auto. So we're good, right? I hope. I hope. Alright, let me get these fuel pumps on now. While I'm thinking about it.
Pause system test. Okay.
Okay. Alright, so there we are. So we are at MKJS currently. Kara, my dear, I'm gonna need you to handle all the traffic there. All right, FMS setup is complete, fuel selector is on, da 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 da, and we're not gonna worry about the rest of it because I think I know how to taxi. Famous last words. Okay, one thing we do want to do is we want to make sure that we erect our standby attitude indicator. So there we go, that looks good. We should be calibrated to 29.902 because I haven't changed that in the weather. And everything else looks good to me. CDI, we are going to set you to GPS. PFD options. Bearing 1. Okay, I want to set that to, yeah, that. MKDI is our first stop. And we'll set nav1 or nav2 to ILS. Wind. We'll go with option 3. No wind data. Okay, well that's fine too. Ask me if I care. Okay. Back. Back. Alright, now let's set up Kara to take care of the comms and we will get ready to move out. In the meantime, I'm just checking to make sure that our temperature's looking good. We probably could push idle up a little bit, so let's go ahead and do that. Very sensitive on the idle here. Only takes a little bit to get going. Huh. Alright, Kara, it is all you, my girl.
Sangster ground, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, with Kilo request taxi, for takeoff west departure.
Are they going to reply to us, or are they just going to let us sit here?
Taxi to and hold short runway, 25 Alpha Golf Bravo.
Oh, I guess they did. Runway 25. Okay, well I guess I should have seen that coming since that's the runway we used last time. We probably won't need flaps on this one because this is a very long runway. But let's get our parking brakes off. Yeah, it is every bit the rocket ship that I remember. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, this one's going to want to fly. I'm going to tell you that right now, folks. She's going to want to fly. Let's go to the outside view as we make our way to runway 25. One thing about her is she certainly does taxi fast, so I've got to put it back a little bit here, and by back I mean the throttle's back. But we should be good right about here for our hold short, so we're going to pull up to the hold short. And all of a sudden this is going to be an IFR flight. I didn't bargain on that today. Alright, Kara, do your thing.
Sangster Tower, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, ready for departure to the west at runway 25.
Okay, landing lights on, taxi lights off. I assume they're saying something, I just can't hear them.
Cleared for takeoff runway 25 Alpha Golf Bravo.
Okay. Alright, now we'll get the pitot heat on. And we still have the right ECU fail and all of that jazz. Do I need to do something with that? Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to do with that. It's supposed to be an auto, which is a center. Center. There you go. Stall heat fail. DCUB fail. Okay, yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. I'll do a quick test of it. Yeah, don't know. Don't know. Right one says it keeps failing, so I'm going to put that to the bottom maybe. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I guess that seems to be working now, so I'm alright with that. Alright, and we did get takeoff clearance, so before they revoke our clearance, I suppose we should probably get out of here. Airflow, hot air entry, parking brake, everything else would appear to be good. No smoking. Okay, ice lights, what are these here? Pump 1 and pump 2, alternate guard, alternate off, okay. So the moral of the story here, folks, is make sure you read the manual before you go for a first flight. It's helpful. Alright, but we got clearance, we're good to go. I'm setting up some trim here, just a little bit of back pressure trim. This thing should want to just leap off the runway, if I remember correctly. Like I said, it's been a while since I've actually flown one of these suckers virtually. I've never actually been in one in real life, but I hear they're interesting to fly. Interesting good, not interesting bad. I feel like I should clarify that. Alright, but I don't know about you all. I'm ready to go, so you know what it's time for, folks. Brakes down, throttles up, brakes off. Going to about 80% throttle. We're going to hold it there, should be enough. And look at her gaining speed. Airspeed is alive, baby. As soon as we get to about 70, we'll pull off the runway. She already feels like she wants to fly now. And here we go. Nice and easy. I love it. I love it. Now, before we get too carried away, both literally and figuratively here, how about we go back to the outside view and get those gear up?
Tower, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, continue for west departure.
That's the money shot right there. Okay, now I didn't actually set what our altitude should be, so I'm gonna try and do that now as we're making our way around. Let's see, we can set ourselves up for about 5,000 feet. Yeah, we'll try that. We will try that. See how that works. Now, I don't recall if this thing has an autopilot. I want to say it does. Yeah, because it does have a yaw damper as well. So we can go ahead and set that up, I think. Okay. Yaw damper, we'll go ahead and turn you on. AP, we'll go ahead and turn you on. Nav, set you up. Okay, and there's Montego Bay, folks. So say goodbye to Montego Bay. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, but we still need to start heading in the right direction. So let me see if I can set us up for that. Okay, roll, hold, GPS. No, I don't want that. Let's go heading. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right, so we've got our pitch heading. We've got our nav heading.
Sangster Tower, November 70 Alpha Golf, Bravo frequency change. Sangster approach, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo, is type 3 miles west of Sangster, 2,500 feet.
All right.
Request flight following.
Woohoo! We're on the way, folks. We are on the way. All right, so I'm wondering if 5,000 might be a little much.
Squawk 3076 Alpha Golf Bravo.
Okay, Kara's handling that. Maybe what I should do is I should bring us a little bit in between those two cloud banks there. Oh, and I do hear that there is a headphone mode, so let me try that here.
Roger Alpha Golf Bravo.
Oh, okay. Wow. It's like real quiet now. It's a super chill vid all of a sudden. All right, let's go to the outside view. Okay, so we're closing in on 5,000 feet, and yes, it looks like that was a good call. 5,000 feet seems to be right in between these cloud layers. I'm okay with that. I am very much okay with that. And if you look down there, you will see our convention center in Montego Bay. So that is from the last video, the Bell 47J video that I showed. We visited there, and then we went up the hill just a little bit to the right there to Rose Hall, which is directly behind it. So yeah, not too shabby. So eventually we are going to check out some of the other POIs that they have here. POI, by the way, for those of you who are new to flight simming and whatnot, POI stands for points of interest. So the POIs that we have currently are the ones that we're looking at: Rose Hall and of course the convention center, the Montego Bay Convention Center. But there are others. There's a couple of POIs in Kingston, which is going to be one of our future stops. There's another one in St. Catherine, which is a parish close to Kingston. It's not like right there. It's like one or so parish away. What? I like you? What? Did my aircraft just tell me it likes me? And why was it flashing red? Should I be worried here, folks? I've never had that happen before. Okay, well, DA42, I like you too. It's good to be back in you after all these years of not having you around because Flight Sim World is dead. Okay, that was a little strange. I'm not gonna lie. That was a little strange. So yeah, anyway, I was talking about POIs, right? So St. Catherine, there's a POI there. I want to say it's Colbeck Castle. I could be wrong, but we'll check that out in a future video, in an upcoming video. I would like to see Mandeville, of course, because Mandeville is near and dear to my heart. So we're going to want to check that out as well and see how well they did there. And we also want to check out some of the West Coast, most notably the Negril area, to see if they made any changes to Negril. But I'm thinking once we get to Boscobel / Ian Fleming International Airport, we're probably going to want to head straight to Kingston after that, which we will not do in this particular video. We'll save that for the next video. But it'll at least give us an idea of how they did that area, if they made any improvements to it, maybe added some more cruise ships or solidified a few more hotels, you know, that sort of thing. Either way, we're going to find out together because that's where we're headed right now. Alright, but according to my nifty little G1000 here, we're about 20 miles away from Puerto Seco, which is ICAO Mike Kilo Delta, India. I believe that is in the parish of Trelawney. Montego Bay, incidentally, is in the parish of St. James, which is like right next door. Which also means that we should be coming relatively close to an area of Jamaica known as the Cockpit Country. So I'm going to go back to the outside view and we'll see if we can locate it. I want to say it may be just past that river there.
128.1 Alpha Golf Bravo. Goodbye.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you were still talking to
Kingston
them.
Center, November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo 5,000 feet.
Yeah, I don't know why I can't hear them. I know that's a bug that sometimes comes up in Microsoft Flight Sim. But yeah, it looks like it's affecting me today because I cannot hear the tower at all. But thankfully, Kara's on the case, so we're good to go there. And we're about 9.5 miles away from Puerto Rico. I'm going to pull up our flight plan here, not that there's much to it. Pretty much we go to Puerto Rico and then we go to MKBS, Ian Fleming, Boscobel. So yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. How much of a distance do we have? About 24 miles to get to Boscobel, so not a problem. So that means we are a little over 30 miles away. So hopefully February has been treating you well. If I remembered, I will have surprised you with this video on Valentine's Day. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Valentine's Day. In fact, I can just about guarantee you that I probably took today off from work, that is. But I guess you could say this is like my gift to you because this aircraft, apparently it likes me and I like it too. So here you go. This is my Valentine right here. But yeah, I wanted to continue on with the whole Jamaica thing. So it's my love letter to you all for supporting me, for watching the channel, for putting up with my shenanigans and my antics and so on and so forth. And I also wanted to give a quick shout out to Microsoft Flight Simulator themselves. For those of you who don't know, they've been doing this Black History Month thing where they're featuring content creators of color, I guess you would call it. I don't know what the politically correct term is for that kind of thing. But suffice to say, they honored me. They actually featured me on Twitter last week and had like my picture up and everything. I'll probably show you the picture real quick so you can get a reminder of just how ugly I really am. But yeah, I thought that was really cool and I thought that was a great honor. So thank you again, Microsoft Flight Simulator. I do appreciate it. I'm actually surprised you even remember me because you never comment on any of my videos or anything anymore. Ah, well, can't have it all, I guess. But yes, I do love when those of you who do follow the channel share your support, the likes, the comments, and all that, especially the comments. You may notice I tend to reply quickly. I have said before, I do have the comments coming directly to my cell phone. So whether I'm at work or not, if you post a comment on any of my videos, I will see it pretty much immediately. And I usually try to respond to it if I feel it is something that is worth responding to at the time. Obviously, if I'm working and I'm really busy, I might not get to it immediately, but I try to get to it at least the same day. And for those of you who have questions on the various aircraft that I fly, you will be pleased to know, usually if I'm showcasing an aircraft, I probably have their developer on quote-unquote speed dial. I'll give you a prime example. So you've seen a lot of the Cowan Sim helicopters, right? Well, I talk to Cowan almost daily. So if you have a question on any of his aircraft, rather than bugging him, you can ask it here and I will find out from him and get his official answer back to you. So if you're okay with that deal, then I'm okay with that deal too, and we will just call it a deal, right? Right. Okay. All right, looks like we are passing Puerto Rico now. Let me see if we can see it below us. Clouds. Nothing but clouds. Well, I tried. That's all I can say. I tried. All right, so we are now on our final leg towards Ian Fleming International. So we're about 22 miles out. I'm going to kind of force my hand here and tell Kara to contact them now. So nearest airport, Bosco Bell is number 5, which I do not have a vertical control for, so we'll have to use the mouse. Select a runway for landing. Actually, let's listen to the ATIS if we can. We cannot. Okay. Select runway for landing. I think I know which one I want anyway. It's going to be runway 27. Okay.
Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra
Thank
traffic
you.
November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo 22 miles west, 5,000 feet inbound to land runway 27.
All right. Now, Kara, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it off of nav mode, and we are going to put it on heading select. There we go. We are on heading select. And we're also going to start bringing her down to about 2,000. So I'm going to change that. So we want VS. Yes, we want VS. And we want to start coming down. So there we go. A nice, quick flight, really. Nothing too fancy, nothing too spectacular in an aircraft that I haven't been in for a long time, but I did kind of feel a little bit nostalgic for. It is quite a shame what happened with Flight Sim World, but looking back at it now, I guess I'm kind of glad that it did not succeed, because if that were the case, we probably would not have ended up with Microsoft Flight Simulator as it is right now. Unbeknownst to us at the time when they were working on Flight Sim World, Microsoft was already in production on Microsoft Flight Simulator. We just didn't know it. We figured it was a done deal when they had sold dovetailed the IP so that they could make a consumer flight sim. But still, it's a little bit of a bittersweet thing, because I did make some really good friends at Dovetail, and you know, it was really heartbreaking watching them basically lose their jobs and so on because of everything that came out of that. But they're all doing great. I'm pleased to report. One of them even got married, and you know, the other's still flying actually. So yeah, all's well that ends well, I guess. And we have Microsoft Flight Simulator, which at the end of the day has turned out to be a pretty superior sim. Yes, it's had its teething pains and so on and so forth. We all know, we've all been through it. But when you look at the sim where it is right now, I would say that it's in a pretty good place. It really is. VR, especially the VR implementation of it, has grown in leaps and bounds. It's to the point right now where I feel comfortable looking at this. Of course, it is me, and I still have to lean forward to see all the numbers, but you know what? We're going to blame that on my advancing age and my eyes more so than the VR itself. I'm sure if I had like a Pimax Crystal or whatever the top headset of the year is, I probably would not be complaining. I'm still using the Reverb G2, still living with that fear that eventually one day I'm going to fire this thing up and it's going to be bricked thanks to Microsoft. But yeah, as long as that has not been the case just yet, then I will continue to fly in Flight Sim. I'll just bring us down to 1,600 feet here. And we're deliberately kind of going off the magenta line here, because to come in to Boscobel, we're going to want to go over the Caribbean Sea and then make a right-hand U-ey, and that'll bring us in. Matter of fact, since we're going over the sea, we could probably come down a little more. So I'm going to bring us down to 1,200 feet. That should get us below this cloud deck, because, yeah, otherwise it's going to be real nasty. All right, so let's make a quick look outside, and we'll see what we're dealing with here. And then we'll bring her into land. All right, so we should be getting close to St. Anne's Bay right about now. I am going to keep us heading in this direction here, which is about heading 106. We are closing in on about 1,200 feet. Actually, we can probably do runway reciprocal heading, which would mean that we would need to be at about 090. Yeah, right about there should be good. 090. Okay, so that'll get us close, and we can already see we're about 6 miles away. How are we doing on our airspeed? Pretty decent. We're coming down. We want to bring it below 110 before we start thinking about flaps and so on. I do still have the landing lights on. I never actually turned them off, so we should be good there. But let me see if these floodlights work. I don't know that they do. Are they working? Do we even have floodlights? I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, I've got the cabin lighting on, the floodlights on. I do know that, oh, there it is. It's recessed in there. I do know that they are supposed to be making some updates and whatnot to this bird, so don't be too surprised if that comes in the near future. I do like that this is a brand new developer, and they're really getting the chance to quote-unquote stretch their wings, as it were. So I most definitely plan on supporting them, because so far they have won me over with this bird. It is a really nice aircraft. Easy enough to fly, easy enough to figure out, even for a dummy like myself that didn't read the manual. Yeah, RTFM, folks, RTFM. Always read the manual. But yeah, if I can pick it up, you can most certainly pick it up. So there you go. A little tip from your Uncle Bell. Oh, and quick update on the Flight Sim Expo thing. That's another reason why I decided to do this video as early as possible. So they think they may have a new venue. Right now, there are a couple of choices, and they're basically having the community vote as to which one they think they would rather have the event held at. One of the options is the Rio, the Hotel Rio in Vegas, close to the Strip. I think it's like 5 minutes from the Strip, if I'm not too mistaken. Personally, I think the Rio is going to be the best choice, but I can't tell you what to vote for. I can just say that just reading through everything that I saw, the Rio is probably going to be our best bet. But that is available. I can put the link to that in the comments, provided, of course, it is still valid by the time this video goes live. They may have already made their decision by the time this video goes live. There's Ian Fleming International, by the way, our destination. Oh, I don't want to go backwards. Are you trying to put me backwards? No, we don't want that. All right, let's go ahead and get the autopilot off while we're at it here. And let's get our gear down. Okay, we're doing good. So we'll start trimming for speed here. Try to keep her around 80-ish. She does take an awful lot of trim. I will say that. All right, Kara, did you ever announce that we were on downwind? You know what? Just tell them we're on base. Tell them we're on base and we're coming in.
Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra traffic November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is on base runway 27.
Okay, here we go. Making sure everything is good. Fuel pump's on. Yep. Got enough power to stay airborne. What's our altitude? About 720. Okay, this one's going to be tight, but if they can get regional airliners like CRJs and ERJs to come into this airport, then I surely can bring a Diamond DA42 in here. So we hope, anyway. But if you're religious, now's a good time to pray for me. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna make it. I always make it. Right? Right. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you.
500.
Okay, well, thank you. All right, Kara, you may as well tell them we're on final from now, even though we're not exactly on final.
Mike Kilo Bravo Sierra traffic November 70 Alpha Golf Bravo is on final runway 27 to land.
Okay, flaps are on landing. Get a little bit of that rudder action going here. One thing I will say, this thing is pretty responsive. So yeah, even though I just kind of went a little overboard on that turn there, she still managed to make it. We are a little bit low, but we're going to bring her in nonetheless. Just like that one time on, what was the name of that island? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'll probably remember it and put it in the comments there, but that was like a P3D video that we did with the P40. All right, but welcome to Bosco Bell, or excuse me, Ian Fleming International. Whee! A little bit of crosswind action going here. All right. I like those nice firm landings. Nice firm landing, good. Oh, look at that. They even made the building there blue, which I think it actually is supposed to be blue. I don't think it's supposed to look like that, though. So clearly they didn't add any terminals. But I guess there's not too many people who have done the airports in Jamaica. I know there was a gentleman who was working on it, but I haven't heard from him in a while, and I know health was an issue. I'm hoping he's okay, really. Because, yeah, the last time I heard from him was like a couple of years ago now, so if you're still out there, you know who you are, because you do watch my videos from time to time. So check in, please. Make sure you're okay. That's all I ask. All right, but here we are. Unremarkable. I think what I will do for the next video, since it's a continuing tour, I'll try and see if I can find some nifty freeware scenery for Old Bosco Bell Airport here. And we'll try and pop that in just to give this thing a little bit more life. But other than that, I think we should be good with what we're seeing here. Yeah, it's not spectacular, but you know what? It'll do the job. So welcome to Ocho Rios and Ian Fleming International Airport, where I believe either American Airlines or one of them actually has flights that come into this airport now. That's a first. That actually just started not long ago. So congratulations to them for now being a real international airport instead of just an airport where people fly over from Cuba in a Cessna. But there you have it, folks. So, once again, this aircraft is the Cowes version of the Diamond DA42. This one is going to be a rising star. Mark my words. This one is really well done, and I'm sure any updates that they add to this in the future are just going to make it even better. So yeah, this one I'd recommend. Definitely pick it up. So worth it. You can get it off of Orbix. I'll put the link in the video description as always. And I will remind you that we are in World Update 16, which is the Caribbean, which granted it doesn't affect all of the Caribbean, but I have noticed some changes here and there in Jamaica that does make it look different from it did when this flight sim first started. So thank you, Microsoft and Asobo, for remembering the Caribbean. I know it's been a long time since we've spoken, since before this sim even went into alpha and beta testing, but I'm sure you remember me grilling you about what your plans were to update the Caribbean. You done me proud. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, folks, that'll do it for me. So thanks as always for watching. This has been BelGeode. I have been flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we are in World Update 16, the Caribbean. I'm going to go ahead and turn our engines off here. And we'll kill the avionics, which of course will do that little thing there. Oy, I hate when it does that little thing there. We'll turn off the battery power. We won't worry about any of the other stuff here. We'll just set this back up there and we're good to go. And now I can get the cockpit wet. Alright, so if you enjoy what you've seen, please feel free to give me a like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I'll be back sometime in the very near future with some more Microsoft Flight Sim goodness as we continue our virtual tour around the new and updated Jamaica as part of World Update 16 Caribbean. Alrighty, folks, I'm not much of a mushy type, but I guess I'll say it anyway. Happy Valentine's Day to you all, and I hope you all have an excellent, excellent day. Ciao.